Bought a load of hay this morning, and it's got a couple different qualities of hay. We've got some really nice stuff behind me. I've got some kind of lower quality stuff over in the corner, and then I got a couple floor bales and Malburn bales that I'll feed to my steers. Here's the good stuff. Nice grass in here. Good alfalfa in here as well, good leaves in here. Good hay, good solid hay. They're big, heavy, tight packed bales. These are some of the steer bales. You can tell they're just Malburn, discolored. Give them a whiff, they smell musty. And this is the lower quality stuff. Still a lot of really good hay in here. Still a beautiful color, but some of them are kind of crusted over like this, but it's really nothing to be concerned about because you give them a whiff and they smell super good. And if you break inside of the bale, pull out some hay, look at that hay. I mean, there's a ton of leaf in there. Really good smelling stuff. So this pile's a lot more alfalfa. That pile's got more grass. So I bought it at auction this morning for probably a little bit higher price than I should have, but kind of got myself in that situation again where I don't have any hay and I got customers that need some hay. So kind of have to do what I have to do just to get some hay in the barn. Got me a new tire. Well, this is the old one. That's the new one. AGCO's in the shop. We're getting it ready because we got a big project coming up for it. Last year's project, we were moving a lot of dirt, filling in ditches. This year's project, or this winter's project, is spreading compost. So this fine looking stuff here is called mushroom compost or mushroom dirt, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it is the dirt that mushrooms grow in. It's a lot of straw and a lot of just organic material. Mushrooms are decomposers. They break it down and it turns it into this compost. This stuff here, these two piles, this is some pretty fine material. So this stuff I'm going to end up spreading on the existing hay fields because it's going to turn into more of a powdery dust coming out of the spreader. Going to leave a nice thin even layer, and I'm not going to have really any clumps to worry about when I come to make hay. There's 175 tons sitting here over 22 acres. That comes out to, I think, about 8 tons to the acre. I might go a touch lighter on the existing hay fields just so I don't have to worry about any of it coming up into my hay bales when I'm making hay in the summertime, and then I can go heavier on some of this other ground that is really in need of some organic matter. So as far as the AGCO, all I have to do to it, as far as I know, is just, service it, check the fluids and everything, go over all the grease points. And with it being the cab tractor, I like to polish, wax it, clean out the cab, clean the glass, make it look sharp. That's just something I like to do. I want to talk quick about fertilizer, specifically synthetic fertilizer and organic fertilizer. That manure out there, or compost, it's considered organic fertilizer because it's organic. It's all just broken down, decomposed organic material. The big reason I'm spreading this as opposed to a bunch more synthetic fertilizer is the organic matter and the carbon that it contains. We actually spread some synthetic potash on back in the fall. All of our ground needed some because we had alfalfa in it and we've had beans in there, and we didn't put any potash on previously, so the ground had been pretty depleted of the nitrogen because beans and alfalfa really like to eat that stuff up. So we put some synthetic fertilizer on there just to bring up kind of that base fertility line, and then this organic fertilizer or compost is going to kind of be that extra stuff that all this needs. There's a lot of P and K in it. There's some nitrogen. There's a lot of other micros in there as well. The big thing that compost has is carbon and a lot of organic matter. Our soil is roughly 3.8 to 4.5% organic matter. It's not terrible, but there's still a lot to be desired. So my plan over the next couple years is to spread some of this compost every single year and build up that organic matter layer. The big thing that organic matter does is it holds water, it holds nutrients, it builds soil structure, and it gives the soil overall better health. And that's what I'm focusing on, is I want to build healthy soil because I view soil as a living organism. It is living, it is breathing, it is the lifeblood of the plant. You can do everything you can to feed the plant, but if you're not feeding the soil, you're not feeding the body. You need to view fertilizer and compost and stuff as vitamins and healthy food. Synthetic fertilizer is like a vitamin. You take a vitamin for a specific thing. If you have an iron deficiency, you take an iron pill. You're targeting one thing. Same thing with synthetic fertilizer. If you're coming out here and spreading potash, you are targeting P and K. That's all you're doing. Whereas compost like this is loaded with lots of micros and macros, as well as carbon and a lot of organic matter. So the manure and this compost, organic fertilizer, is more like a healthy diet, whereas the fertilizer is kind of like a vitamin here and there. There are times and places for both of them. Like we spread synthetic fertilizer out here, we put some potash on in the fall because our P and K levels were low due to we had alfalfa in here and beans, and we didn't treat the beans or alfalfa really at all previously, so we needed to bring that base fertility line up. And now we're going to be taking care of it and watching after it with this compost. We're going to be feeding the soil, which in turn is going to feed the plant. Seems like a lot, I know, and it is, but I am really fascinated with the soil side of the farm, and I really like to focus in on that. We'll spread this compost here, and at the end of the year, we'll take some more soil tests. We'll see what it has, where it's at, what our organic matter is at. I said earlier that we are spreading this on at about that 8 ton to the acre rate. That's a relatively heavy rate, and the reason we're doing that is because we're really trying to build up our organic matter. Next year and the years following, since everything's going to be in hay at that point, we'll probably bring that rate down maybe more to the 3 to 5 ton acre rate, and we'll do more of these dustings, but we'll be spreading it in the fall to give it a lot more time to decompose. The reason we didn't do this in the fall is just because I didn't think of it earlier. I was able to get in touch with a guy who can supply me with this compost for a really good price, and he's able to bring it in a pretty efficient time span, so it made sense to do it. I got a spreader lined up here for next week, I think, and we're going to try to get this stuff spread. We got to make sure that this tractor is ready to handle the task, so we're going to give it a good old service, good old once over, fill her up with diesel, she'll be ready. I did a bunch of work off camera on this tractor. I did an entire wax job on all of the nice metal, pretty shiny coat there. The loader is just crappy paint. I never really worry about it. Got all the cab. As you can see, that thing is crystal clear. I mean, kind of crystal clear. And I did a full cab detail, at least in my mind, it's a full cab detail. I vacuumed it out and used some Armor All and got everything clean, the windows. So it's pretty shiny, it's pretty clean, but it will not stay clean for very long because I'm gonna be scooping manure with it for a while. So yeah, I don't really know why I cleaned it now. I should have waited till after manure, but I just got impatient and I wanted to clean it. Don't mind that, that's from me putting hydraulic fluid in the tractor, but my back tire is leaking fluid pretty bad. So sometimes I can see a drop on the valve stem, but I don't see nothing there right now. I don't know if it's seeping out of the bead or if there is a pinhole somewhere in the rim, but as you can see, it does not look great down in there. Compared to the other rim, this one looks much better. It's been bad for a long time and I've kind of been putting it off, but I'm afraid that if I run it too much longer, I'm gonna blow that tire to bits because it's full of fluid. A new rim is gonna run me about $400 to $500. So I might just have to bite the bullet and get a new rim and everything on there. It would give me a lot of peace of mind about that tractor there. So what do you guys think? Should I run it, just send it, or should I get it fixed? Other than that, the tractor's ready to go. Got it greased up, gave it a good once over. Tire pressures are good. Tractor's ready to roll.